A girl looks outside and sees her father sweeping the street. She immediately stands up from her chair. The employee standing beside her asks, "What happened, ma'am?" The girl replies, "Do you see that man outside? That's my father." The employee is surprised and says, "That's your father?" The girl says, "Yes," and walks out. The employee follows her, curious. The girl reaches her father and says, "Papa, what are you doing? Why are you sweeping the road?" The father, surprised, says, "Beta, what are you doing here?" The girl replies, "Papa, do you see that office behind you? That's my office. I saw you sweeping the road from my window. Why are you doing this?" The father says, "I work here, Beta." The girl, now emotional, says, "When my brother has such a good job, and I earn well too, then why do you have to do this kind of work?" The father, with tears in his eyes, replies, "Why wouldn't I need to, Beta? When your own son throws you out of the house, you have to do something to survive." The girl is shocked and asks, "Did Bahia throw you out of the house?" The father nods and says, "Yes, your brother kicked me out. That's why I've been working here." The girl takes the broom from her father's hands and sets it down. She says, "Papa, why didn't you tell me all this? Did you think that just because your daughter is married, she doesn't belong to you anymore? You should have told me everything. I am still your daughter." The father, crying, says, "What could I have said? When my own son didn't support me, how could I expect my daughter to help?" The girl says, "Papa, as long as I'm alive, I won't let you suffer. Not even a little. You should have told me earlier. Now come with me." She turns to her employee and says, "Manisha, cancel all the client meetings for today. Tell them ma'am is busy." The employee replies, "Yes, ma'am." The girl then takes her father home. She gives him a glass of water and says, "Here, Papa, drink some water." Just then, her husband comes in and says, "Namaste, Papa." The father-in-law replies, "Namaste, Beta." The husband says, "You were coming, right? Why didn't you tell me?" Ankita didn't say anything either. The girl says, "Dheeraj, I found Papa working outside my office sweeping the street." The husband is shocked and says, "But why, Papa? Why were you doing that work?" The girl answers, "Bahia kicked him out of the house." The husband says, "What? When did this happen? Why didn't you tell us, Papa?" The father, crying again, says, "What could I have told you, Beta? The son I raised, the one I gave everything to, threw me out of the house like garbage. He would come home drunk every day and argue with everyone. One day, in his drunken state, he even raised his hand on me. I told him, either give up drinking or I'll leave the house. And so he threw my belongings out of the house." The husband replies, "Papa, you should have come to us. You were working a job outside instead. Look, you have your daughter and son-in-law who both earn well. You will never lack anything. From now on, I'll fulfill my duty as your son. You don't have to go anywhere now." The father says, "No, Beta, I can't stay here. What will people say that I'm a burden on my daughter and son-in-law?" The son-in-law says, "What are you saying, Papa? I'm your son. My own parents are no longer with me. You are everything to me now. If you suffer, then what is the point of us being here? And as for him, your son, what he did was wrong, and he'll surely face the consequences of it. If my own son had done this to me, I wouldn't be able to live with myself." The father says, "If my real son had been like you, I wouldn't be facing such pain in my old age." The son-in-law says, "I am your son, Papa. Anyway, have you eaten anything?" He turns and says, "Ankita, bring something for Papa." The girl replies, "Yes, I'll bring it right away," and leaves to get food for her father.